China. 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 China should love us. China. China. China.
Could the United States and China be on the brink of a trade war? Maybe, if President Donald Trump follows through on his campaign promise to tax their imports. So what is it about the U.S.-China trade relationship that Trump isn't a fan of? Well, he doesn't think it's fair. Let's start with the numbers. Trade in goods and services between the two is huge, $659.4 billion in total to be precise. $161 billion worth of goods from America were sent to China that year, while Chinese goods imported to the U.S. stood at $497.8 billion. So what does that mean? It means the U.S. had a trade deficit totaling $336.2 billion in 2015, 6.6% more than the previous year. Which brings us back to President Trump and why he is so annoyed with China.
Because we can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing.
That's why, while on the campaign trail, the president promised to impose huge tariffs on the Chinese. This could be anywhere between 10% and 45%. So what exactly does that mean? Well, let's use this cup of tea as an example. Now, say I'm a Chinese tea maker, and right now it costs me about $1 US to import this Chinese tea into the United States. Well, if Donald Trump introduces a 45% tariff on all goods from China, this one cup of tea will now cost $1.45 to get into the United States. And you're probably wondering who's going to have to pay that price? Well, it's going to be me, the consumer. But I'm probably going to ask myself, why would I want to pay $1.45 for a cup of tea from China when I could potentially get a cup of tea from India for less than $1? And that could badly hurt Chinese companies and their products. It would be the first volley in a U.S.-China trade war. Beijing could impose retaliatory tariffs on certain industries, and that in turn would hurt American companies. America's top export to China is airplanes, so increasing tariffs on Boeing, for example, would hurt. But it's not just tariffs. State-run carriers like Air China could simply decide to stop ordering planes from Boeing and instead buy from rivals like European manufacturer Airbus. That leaves the big question: who would win in a U.S.-China trade war? The Chinese say they're ready for any potential protectionist actions and that their economy would remain strong. Over the last couple of years, the Chinese have shifted its economy away from a manufacturing one to a consumption-based one. Trade made up just 28.6% in 2016, down from 36.3% in 2015. China has also been trading more and more with countries with a growing consumer base like India. And finally, the two could spark a trade war over China's currency, the yuan. President Trump has been critical of the yuan, saying throughout his campaign that Beijing is unfairly devaluing it, making Chinese exports more attractive. Even after winning the election, he tweeted, "Did China ask us if it was okay to devalue their currency, making it hard for our companies to compete?" It's unclear if President Trump will actually impose a 45% tariff on goods imported from China, but one thing is for certain: it won't be hurting just the Chinese and American economies. It has the potential to leave the entire globe with an upset stomach. Phil Hahn, CNBC.